excited to show you this comics and feature-packed everyday magazine section of the St. Louis Post-Dispatch newspaper from April 1989, bequeathed to me by my late mom. It has count 'em, 3 pages of newspaper comics, plus movie ads, TV listings, features of all kinds. We'll take a close look at every page of this every day, especially the comics. And after we do, I'll reveal why my mom kept it in the first place. Okay, let's start with this full color page of comics and panel cartoons. Color, quite rare for daily comics. Even in 1989, Post-Dispatch readers had it good. Let's look first at the strips, then I'll circle back and look at the panel cartoons. Calvin and Hobbes sits on top of the page of strips, as well it should. Bill Watterson is a genius. Stop the video to read any of these if you want, but start it up again. Next comes classic comic strips that we think of as classic newspaper comic. We have Blondie. We have Beetle Bailey by Mort Walker, great cartoonist from Missouri. A quiet but brilliant Peanuts. There's another genius, Charles M. Schultz. Garfield, who doesn't love Garfield? Andy Capp. Almost forgot about Andy Capp. And he's at a bar, of course. Remember Shoe by Jeff McNeely. Beautifully drawn strip. Hi and Lois, another classic. The strip you think of when you say newspaper strips. Mother Goose and Grimm by Mike Peters, St. Louis area cartoonist. And those are the strips with that eye-popping color. We'll go back up to the left column and look at the panel cartoons. The Family Circus is up there. Didn't it used to be the Family Circle? Salad bars aren't as good as candy bars, says Jeff D. The Far Side by Gary Larson, another A+ comic. Stop and look at that one more closely if you'd like. Heathcliff is there, a beware of dog joke. And speaking of dogs, here's Marmaduke, of course, with his owner playing with him. They take turns throwing and fetching. Herman, there's an oddball one I barely remember. Very sort of avant-garde. I don't even get that strip. Lockhorns. Oh, the Lockhorn guys are in a bar too. Nag me, Arthur. My wife is away for a month. Yikes. That was kind of old school, even in 1989. Poor Arnold's Almanac. Arnold Roth. National Lampoon cartoonist. Sort of bizarre, surreal stuff. Contrasted by the classic cartooning style of Hank Ketchum. The commercials are always on. They just go from channel to channel. Counterculture. Don't remember it? Sort of get it? Grin and Bear It has been around for decades and decades. Look at that brushwork by Wagner. That was a lawyer joke, I think. Amy is fixing breakfast. Ziggy. There's a whole Seinfeld episode about Ziggy. This is a quiet, but oh, look at that. Hey, that's pretty funny. And it's in color for those of us in St. Louis. We turn back now to one of 2 interior comics pages. These will all be in black and white, but there's some beautiful work here. Look at this. We had a Pogo, followed by Gasoline Alley. Rex Morgan, MD. We still had story strips back then. And look at this story. There's some talking heads in there. Mary Worth. A beautiful run. Look at that shot. Exterior shot of the house. Cut to the close-up. That's some story strip art. And speaking of that, Brenda Starr by Ramona Fradon. I was just reading a Ramona Fradon metamorpho. She is fantastic. Look at that last panel cliffhanger. Wow. I'll spare you the movie timetables for now. We'll go back to the movie pages, but we have more comics to look at. On this same page, Bloom County. I know we have some Bloom County fans out there. I met creator Burke one year in a comics shop. He used one of my gags in the strip. Not this one. There's Sylvia. There was an oddball strip with a completely original sensibility. followed by another classic, BC, Johnny Hart, and Hagar the Horrible by Dick Brown, and Wizard of Id by Brett Parker and Johnny Hart, all out of the Johnny Hart studio. Followed by Geach. Geach, I don't remember that, but I'll have to look it up. Tumbleweeds, I remember. I don't think this strip would make it in 2025. I don't want to be that guy, but I'm not so sure. Mark Trail by Ed Dodd. Oh, I'll have to show you my Ed Dodd original art sometime. That's another video. Hey, it's Spider-Man by Stan Lee, except it's not. It was ghosted by Larry Lieber, and I'm not sure who the artist is. Readers, could you comment? Who is that? Now there's Dick Tracy. Look at the graphics on this Dick Tracy. Look at that last panel of the car crash. So graphic, black and white. Carried on Chester Gould's tradition. Wait a minute. There's a Kathy on this page. Kathy still around? Does anybody know? Drabble. You very seldom see Drabble, but I could be wrong. These are some, 80s comics. Sally Forth. I know Sally Forth is still around. For Better or Worse is still around. These are the sitcom, family sitcom strips. Rose is Rose. My mother's name was Rose. And remember, this is her paper that she gifted to me. Wait a minute, who's that? Hold it, I can't read it. Marvin, I see now. I don't remember Marvin, but Funky Winkerbean is there, still going strong. I know a comic artist pal who ghosted many weeks of it. And what's that? Curtis and Tiger, so the kids strips. And what have we here? Oh, Donald Duck. Who remembers that there was a Donald Duck strip by Walt Disney Studios? This one has Daisy Duck in it. She's going to get a feather cut. What else? What a treasure trove of comics. That was just one weekday. And there was Doonesbury by itself on the advice and opinion page, I guess appropriately. This looks to be a big tobacco jab. Classic Gary Trudeau. We shall zip by Dr. Paul and Ann Landers because I want to look at these movie ads. What was out in 1989? Let's go. Sort of clockwise from the left there. She's Out of Control with Tony Danza. Winter People had Kurt Russell and Kelly McGillis. I need to see that. I like them. Speed Zone. Never saw it. Speed Zone. Interesting. It's a comedy. Let's see then. The big ad down there is See You in the Morning, Kurt Russell. I'm sure I saw it because we saw at least one movie a week back then. Van Damme Cyborg. Hey, this is like a list of movies I need to see at least the second time. Stephen King's Pet Cemetery was out, and Say Anything. And look at all the movie theaters. Oh, Dangerous Liaisons was playing at the Avalon with Rocky Horror. Remember the Avalon? What is that? Major League. Hey, these are 80s movies, right? Does this take you back? What would you see if you had to see one thing on this page? But wait, there's a second page of movie ads, theaters and showtimes. Disorganized Crime, Dream Team with Michael Keaton. Doesn't sound familiar, but I know Dolph Lundgren in Red Scorpion. Where would I see that? At the Galleria. This is how we learned what movie was where, right? This was before the internet, like 5 or 6 years before the World Wide Web, which was 95, right? It's also how we saw what was on TV that day. The TV listings, we held them in our hand. They're too small to see on video. If you want to see what was on in St. Louis in 1989, stop the video, but do start it again because there's some more coolness ahead. We had cable. Cable was introduced back then, at least basic cable. Sidney Omar has your horoscope there on the right. There were even bridge tips on this page. It looks like my mom was calculating some bridge tips. Good for her. There were book and movie reviews every day in Everyday Magazine. This movie review Fishbone is red hot. Hey, that review is by my friend Terry F. Riley. Hey Terry, if you're watching, your music review is in this video. It was cool that you were doing that. Kudos. Back to the front page and back to color. The main feature here is a syndicated story about Rita Hayworth, screen actress who the article says died 2 years earlier in '87. Striking classic photo of Hayworth, too, for what it's worth, and to many much. And finally, the answer to why my sweet late mom saved this now yellowing 1989 Everyday Magazine section. It's because famed Post-Dispatch columnist Jerry Berger led that day's entertainment news with the story about me and how I had just sold a humor story to Marvel Comics. That was What the Number 5. I have a whole nother video about that on this channel, of course. Might be worth checking out just to see the now rare humor art by comics master Jim Lee. But it's these classic newspaper comics we're saluting today. Hope you enjoyed the flashback, because there were never again this many comics printed this large in newspapers, but at least we had them back then. Thanks for watching. Please like and comment. Tell me what caught your eye in this Everyday Magazine. And until next time, see you in the funny papers. P.S. Thanks, Mom.